friends, and welcome back. Chris here. We're going to do another review today. I hope everyone is having a great day. I know I am because I'm here with you guys. So let's dive into the newest offering by Zack Snyder on Netflix. This is part 2 of Rebel Moon. This is Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver. It should be called the box office killer, the lame bringer. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with something that doesn't sound good. It sounded better in my mind than it did coming out of my mouth. Anyway, so this picks up basically where the last one left off. We gathered our heroes that had absolutely no development, and we're telling a story that's as shallow as a dirt road mud puddle. I mean, it's bad, guys. I'm story driven, right? I love a good story. I like good character development. I like caring about characters. I like having a character that I can get behind emotionally. I can get behind mentally. I can be like, oh, I can empathize, or I can associate with this. I can see where he's coming from, right? These characters are so shallow, guys. We have, in the first film, we get these characters introduced to us, but we don't really get a backstory to any of them. That was one of my complaints about the first one, was we get these characters, tons of slow-mo action, no development, no real story development. The story's just shallow, incohesive. I mean, it's a mess. And one of my main complaints was, hey, we need backstories for these characters, because I don't care about them at all. Well, I guess Zach heard us, and he said, hey, let me give you a backstory for all these characters, but instead of doing it in like a smooth, subtle way where it's like, in dialogue perhaps, where, you're talking to Shirtless Wonder over here, and he's, he tells you a little something about himself, or he recounts his story to the group, but not necessarily showing it, implying it. Instead, we have this like drinking scene where they're like, let's tell everybody our stories because we're macho drinking buddies, and let's tell them. And so here we go. We had this round table discussion of everybody's past. And it was just so cartoony, comic booky. I mean, this is supposed to be elevated. No, it's not supposed to be elevated sci-fi. It's just supposed to be prepubescent. This is basically American shonen is what this is. It's geared towards 12-year-old boys. That's what this is, because there's no development of the story or characters. You're in this, you're like, what does any of this have to do with what's going on in the overall universe here? And then we get planets that we have no explanation, like, oh, cool planet. At least in Star Wars, the planets themselves are somewhat of a character. One moment, please. What I was saying before my dog interrupted, the planets themselves are somewhat characters in Star Wars, right? Like, they have their own environmental quirks and ambiance and things like that. And that's cool. In this, there's no, luckily for us, in the second one, it only takes place on one planet, and it's for this farming village, and it feels like it should be a Sci-Fi Channel original movie. Ed Skrein, again, big fan of his, but he is awful in this. Terrible. Jimon Hansu, let's talk about him, all right? Love him as an actor. Great actor. Amistad, Guardians of the Galaxy even. Jimon Hansu's excellent actor, but the thing is, in this, he's totally wasted. And Zack Snyder, please stop using slow-mo for half your movie. 90% of this movie is in slow-mo. There is nothing engaging or intriguing about watching Jimon Hansu dip a canteen into a barrel of water in slow motion. There's nothing engaging about it. Stop doing it. Just stop. All the action does not have to be in slow motion. It just doesn't. So stop doing that. It's one of the worst science fiction films I've ever seen, because the science is not to be seen and the fiction is so ridiculous that you can't even believe it. You can believe it because you're watching it, but you can't believe it because it's so ridiculously done. There's no physics. They don't follow any rules. They don't do anything. They just throw a bunch of crap against the wall and see what sticks. The writing in this movie is like, again, a 12-year-old boy wrote it, and he's got this crush on a girl at school, and this is like his fantasy writing, because we're watching old Daenerys, is that her name? Blonde chick, Game of Thrones, dragon lady. Yeah, we're watching her concubine, old boy that was an assassin or whatever. We're watching him making out with Sophia Botella, and we're like, dude, what? And then they start talking. She's like, I was an outcast by my father, the emperor's servant. And I'm just like, none of this makes any sense. Why are you telling me this? You just showed me your backstory, but now she's like, I'm a reject, make love to me. What? Get out of here. Nothing was well done. Nothing in this film was well done. Not even the action. And Zack Snyder's normally a master of action. He's a master of putting together visually stunning set pieces. But this, he just shit the bed. And I'm so disappointed in this film. The first one was god-awful. This one ain't no better. I don't recommend it. It's streaming on Netflix if you really want to torture yourself and just be like, ah. But the weird thing is, and this is what blows my mind, is some people give this movie like 3 stars, 4 stars. I'm like, guys, are we watching the same movie? I mean, I understand that movies are subjective, and by all means, anyone can like what they like. But I look at this, and I don't see how anyone can universally say that's a good movie. Because it's just a bunch of crap thrown together. It's literally what it feels like to me. It's just a bunch of action scenes in slow motion, interspersed with non-action scenes in slow motion, interspersed with 12-year-old dialogue, interspersed with incoherent storytelling. How does anyone enjoy that? I mean, sure, if you're just there for your popcorn and going, ooh, ah, at the pretty pictures, then this is the movie for you. But if you want substance, if you want something that tickles your mind, tickles your spider senses, and makes you actually think and feel something, this ain't it. Never will be it. Never should have even been made. Thank God Lucasfilm or whoever, Disney, passed on this piece of white-hot dog crap and said, nah, Zach, we ain't making that, because they avoided a stinker. Put it that way. All right? Guys, Rebel Moon gets 1 star. Don't waste your time. Thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate it. And if you like them, guys, please like and subscribe. And I'm going to keep making them as long as you guys keep watching them. Peace out. God bless. See you soon.